the food. I have to do all the work in this house. Did you notice another
Did you
maid
prepare
there?
the
It's only
pheasant?
me.
Did you prepare the pheasant? You did, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I do all the
You dress the bird and you...
food in the house, yeah?
Yes, fine, simple, straight. Where does that take you?
Yes. 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 Shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Study.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Green.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. All right, you're saying that it took place in the study. You're saying that the shotgun was the weapon and the Reverend Green, the good Reverend, is the killer. 1 out of 3, Stan. Only 1 out of 3. All right, Matthew and Jenny, your question now.
Mrs. White, after you caught Miss Scarlett and the victim together, where did you go?
I expect I'd go back to the kitchen. I usually did. I have so much work to do in that house. Do you notice how big it is?
Now, we have a problem there because there were a lot of murder weapons in the kitchen at this point. There was a hoe in the kitchen, there was a corkscrew in the kitchen, there was a carving knife in the kitchen, which means a little bit relying on instinct here, and we have a feeling that perhaps we still believe it's Mrs. White.
Yes.
And that she used the carving knife.
Yes.
And she went back to the study.
So you're staying with the study as the location. You now think it was the knife that was the weapon, and you're staying with Mrs. White as the killer. It's still 2 out of 3. Okay, John and Judy, another cross-examination question, please.
Go on.
Colonel Mustard, when the Reverend announced that Terry had been killed, you suddenly appeared and said, "Calm yourself." Looked very assured. Where had you just come from?
I'd actually been in the garden with Mrs. Peacock discussing our forthcoming nuptials.
Okay, thank you for that. Any deductions that you can make from that?
Yes.
Rolf?
Yeah.
Mrs. White always knocking back the whatever it was in the decanter. We think it was the decanter stopper thing in the study.
All right. Oh, that gets a favourable response. Okay, why?
We've come unstuck with everybody else.
I think Colonel Mustard convinced her that she had done the wrong thing. And she wanted her money back.
She wanted money back, yes.
And maybe impulsive.
All right. I can actually reveal now that Terry Radcliffe was killed in a study, his life was extinguished by a decanter stopper, and his killer was none other than Mrs. White.
When the Colonel told me the truth about Terry Radcliffe, I didn't know what to do. I was in such a state. All I could think of was more washing, cooking and cleaning for the likes of Mrs. Peacock and Miss Scarlett. Year in, year out, washing, cooking, cleaning. I told Mr. Radcliffe I'd changed my mind, but he wasn't having any of it. He practically threw me out. Inside, he was laughing at me, I could tell. So I went into the library and I poured myself a drink. Now, I'm not much of a drinker, as you know. Perhaps it made me come over all strange, because the next thing I knew, I was putting the stopper down the front of my apron. When I saw Miss Scarlett come out of the study, I went in and did what I did. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm sorry, but it had to be this way.
Well, Cluedo always gets its man, or in this case its woman. To the 5 who were wrongly accused tonight, I am terribly sorry. You are, of course, now free to go. As for Mrs. White, well, with all the money she's got back, I'm afraid, Mrs. White, that legal aid is out of the question.
Oh.
And so, of course, is a detective job for Matthew and Jenny, though I have to say they had Mrs. White bang to rights, more or less from the start, so bad luck and well done. As for John and Judy, the head of Pinkerton's detective agency is on the line for you now, so well done to you two. Well, another baffling case for us to solve next week, so do join us then from now, from all of us here on Cluedo. A very good night to you. Good night.